What you need is a company you can trust, something that you can believe in. A widely recognized brand. You need a transparent form of digital trust in a payment system. You need Bitcoin. Jeff, did you mess with the teleprompter? What's Bitcoin? Do you know what? You're fired. Who's laughing now? Charlie Lee has laid on some massive info on us today. Really good stuff. While it's not potentially anything new, he helps spell out some stuff. So if you weren't aware, there's a hard fork in November. The Segwit 2x version of Bitcoin and the normal Bitcoin will go their separate ways. This is going to happen in November, somewhere between the 18th and the 22nd. It goes by a block number, so we're not exactly sure. It depends on hash rate and stuff like that. But somewhere between those dates is very likely. After that, the market gets to choose what's going to be the number one Bitcoin. Charlie goes on to state how he used to be an employee of Coinbase and it still works as an advisor for them. Put in his advice. I'll leave a link to this below. Essentially, it was that Coinbase is going to support the new fork. It's also going to support the original Bitcoin because not 100% of people are going to move to the new Segwit 2x version of Bitcoin. And he thinks that the original chain is going to retain the name Bitcoin. And that's a very big deal because at least I could be wrong about this. This is what I think. The name is the most important thing. I know that's kind of sad, right? What about the technology? What about the principles? What about yada, yada, yada? Bitcoin has over $1 trillion worth of advertising around the world. Basically, it would cost $1 trillion to educate that many people about Bitcoin. So a lot of people know what it is, and they're not going to know what the 2x is. So I just can't see anything, no matter what, anything topping Bitcoin, the coin that has the name, if that makes sense. It's a little late here. But do you agree with me? Let me know in the comment section to the left. So usually when I do these market updates, I will have a look at what's going on. And I'm used to seeing a few certain coins turn up for work like Walton. But today is really weird. These are coins that you don't usually see here. There's big pumps for weird ones. And interestingly, a lot of them are Chinese coins. Well, they were, and then things changed, but there's still Walton there, Binance coin there, there's Neo. There was First Blood, but that's changed, it's no longer there. So at the top we have VeChain. It's been kind of compared to Walton, although it doesn't have the same infrastructure that Walton's got behind it. This is one that's also designed to track products through a production line. Essentially the premise is that a blockchain can make the existing databases cheaper to run, more efficient, faster. So that's having a nice pump right now. Is it going to be on the way down? Regal coin. So I got spammed emails about this a while back. You know, like, oh, put it in your videos with an affiliate code. And it just put a bad taste in my mouth about it. And it just felt really fishy. So I didn't talk about it because I didn't want to talk about scam coin. It's up today. Let's talk about it. Not promoting or endorsing it. It's called the BitConnect version 2 or just another BitConnect, because you can lend your coins and you can earn profits of up to 45% monthly. But generally, I don't trust these like Ponzi scheme cryptocurrencies. You could say every cryptocurrency is a Ponzi scheme, but I think that's looking at it at a short, shallow depth of vision, and you're not seeing the whole picture. But this one, probably am seeing the whole picture. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to say you can't make money with this, because I don't know. I'm not going to say you probably could. I'm going to say I don't know. It's not something that I'm interested in buying. I'm a good, keep my nose clean type of guy. Sonim. It seems like there's a lot of newbies to the top. Tron. Sonim is a lot like Golem in that it's designed to be like the world supercomputer, which is also like Elastic or Zell. It seems to me that especially these supercomputer coins are very wild. So you see there's huge jagged lines for that. It's kind of the same story for Golem. My theory about it is that these types of super techie coins rely heavily on the news. Whether the news is good, whether the news is bad, whether there's any progress, and whether or not there is any news that also has an impact. I think with these coins, you really need to be on your toes in order to ride the waves effectively. Too much effort for me. But what the heck is Tron? Look at these for misclicks. According to this website, as far as I understand it, it's a coin for watching and purchasing the Tron movies. But it has an article in Forbes. Of course it does. No, I realistically don't know. Sorry guys, don't know what this coin is. It's kind of rather embarrassing to admit.
A few inches later.
Tron has recently finished its ICO. I think some of the first pre-sale tokens went onto the market midway of last month, and today we're seeing a 50% rise, even though it doesn't look like very much because of these misclicks. Tron is a really ambitious project. It's kind of hard to explain. Essentially, it's touted as being a shared platform for the entertainment market and being able to interact with others' media for a decent price, kind of like the Google Play Store or the iOS version, the App Store, but for much cheaper. But it's a decentralized digital entertainment protocol, and it includes such things as live shows, social networks, online casinos, games, mobile games, and it gives those things a few payment methods, development methods, storage, and credit sharing. So big encompassing thing. You could say it's going to be big when you look at it because it's like, oh, it's only 0.2 of a penny. That's super cheap, so buy in now. You have to realize that there's 40 billion of the coin in circulating supply. The total is 100 billion. That is a lot of coin. This price that you're seeing is pretty expensive. As a market cap of $110 million, it's currently ranked 57. I'm not trying to say that it's not going to go higher, just don't be fooled by the seemingly low price. If you'd like some more information on it, I will leave this linked below. Gives plenty of good information about it. And on the other side of the market, we have a few players, a few in double-digit reds. I'm wondering if we're going to see more of this as we get closer to the hard fork, more double-digit reds. Right now, it looks like an average day, to be honest. So I learned something really interesting about Bitmain. Anything that I learn about Bitmain, it's always great. So they're selling the new Antminer, the S9. So it's the latest edition of their energy efficient Bitcoin miner. The only way to pay for it though is with Bitcoin Cash. So, I mean, if you ask yourself, why wouldn't they accept Bitcoin? Maybe they know something we don't and they're expecting Bitcoin Cash to be more valuable. That's certainly a possibility. Or they're looking to encourage people to use Bitcoin Cash more. You know, the ASIC Boost compatible version that their Antminers can mine more efficiently than Bitcoin. The sheer audacity. I love Bitmain. I love Yihan Wu. I think they're great. I mean, if I think about it, it's so obvious that they stalled innovation on the Bitcoin blockchain because they wanted it to remain SegWit-less for as long as possible so that their Antminers can exploit the weakness, get about 30%, up to 30% extra energy efficiency over others in mining, grind out that cash, and straight after we did get SegWit, Bitcoin Cash is created. It's just... And this post goes in and talks about that. What happens when there's no more mining reward? Because eventually there's going to stop being Bitcoins created through mining, and there'll be a cap of 21 million. This will be in like 100 years or something silly like that. But it begs the question, what's going to happen then? At that point, the miners would get the reward of just transaction fees, and that would have to be enough. So maybe mining is not going to be as profitable anymore. Not that I think they're really worried about that now. It's not within their lifetimes or potentially even their children's. But innovating yourself out of a job potentially isn't something that a lot of people would be very inclined to do. This post goes on to talk about that. It says when we have the Lightning Network, for example, you might have 10 Lightning Network transactions. Most likely they will only actually settle on chain a single time. That means a single transaction fee for 10 transactions. So they're getting 10 times less the reward. I mean, how incentivized would you be to enact something like that? And SegWit was a precursor to layer 2 solutions. So although there are other alternatives to SegWit for layer 2 solutions, but that's the one we've got. To think they stalled Bitcoin progress in the name of profit. Speaking of profit, Goldman Sachs wants in and is getting a lot of interest from its clients. So they're exploring the methods about how to best serve them. And how to best serve them is potentially buying the coin straight up, which probably be the best, or trading options, or possibly future contracts, underlying assets. I'm not quite sure, looking into it. Institutional money hitting the scene is always a big deal because these guys are potentially really rich. There's a lot of money. That's a whole new market that potentially hasn't been too involved yet. So we could see a lot more money come in. Could be interesting to see. We're approaching that $150 billion market cap. I think, this is not financial advice, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the fork. I don't think most people know about it yet still. And that might sound crazy to you. Like, you've been talking about it forever. I still don't know how many people actually know about it. I wonder if there's going to be uncertainty about it come November and people will start to sell out and just wait and see type deal. And there'll definitely be others who will try and have the most Bitcoin possible, keep the private keys, get ready for the fork so they can have what a time to be alive. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. I had a hugely busy day today. It's 1:05 in the morning here. I did want to get something out today because I feel bad. I want to do an episode every day if possible, apart from Sundays. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.